G'day guys, welcome back to Mango Invest. In this video, we're going to show you how to calculate your dividends in order so you can see, the progress in say 5 years, 10 years, how much money you can actually make with how much or whatever investment that you want to give out, and how much your initial investment was, and you can see the consistent sort of returns through compounding interest in advance. So this is the website trackyourdividends.com. It's the best one that I could really find. There's another one called the dividend tracker, but it asks you to pay money if you want the amount of holdings inputted into your portfolio. But this one, Track Your Dividends, is completely free. You can input an unlimited amount of holdings. For example, here you can see I've got like at least 25 to 30 holdings within the portfolio, and it's all free. Now there is a like a paid version that gives you an extra amount of tools, but like realistically, like you don't really need it. So but what I've done here, this is my dividend portfolio, so currently $261,000. These are all the holdings that you can input into the portfolio. So on the right hand side, you can just go add a holding, click into it. All right, you can name your account, enter the ticker symbol that you've invested in, the amount of shares that you have, and then like the average cost basis, and you can click that, and that'll show up right here, and all the data will be right here in front of you. So this is just the the interface initially. You can come back down, scroll down, and it's got the expected dividends for the next year essentially. Down the bottom it's got some news, and this is just some extra stuff down the bottom that if you wanted to pay for, you can get the extra stuff here. But the next one we'll click over to is diversification. So this is tells you how much equity you've got, all the alternative stocks and the real estate stocks that you have, and then sector breakdown, industry breakdown, your individual holdings. So for me, like Microsoft is 11.3% of my portfolio. Next is Alibaba being 9.6%, and Apple, and so so on and so forth. And it's got all your holdings there in percentage values, which is pretty cool. And then here, so my largest holding being Microsoft, 11%, and the smallest, total sectors. So my technology sector is 19.5%, and the smallest sector is industrials, being 1%. Income diversification, so it even tells you the dividend payers. I've got 19, dividend payers. The highest yield being AG&C, the largest income being JEPI, and every year they pay me just over $2,000, which is pretty cool. It's got the cyclical industries, the defensive, the sensitive, and then the fund, so all the ETFs. It's even individual holdings that's got down here. So this comes under the sensitive, being Microsoft and Apple. I wouldn't really consider those sensitive. They're fairly comfortable and stable companies, but that is what it is. So the cyclical, Alibaba, that's definitely accurate there. But yeah, so and all the ETFs here, so the funds being 13% of the total portfolio, and then it gets broken down into individual funds. So with JEPI, 7% of that total 13% is in JEPI. Defensive, Coca-Cola and Pfizer. But yeah, let's scroll back up and we'll see what's next. So upcoming dividends is a really good feature with trackyourdividends.com. So it's got all your expected dividends like what we saw before. It's got the stock payout calendar. So, Apple, for example, in February of 2023, they're due to pay me, $33.86, which is pretty cool there. And it's all there for you. So you can forecast out for a total year. But given with the companies, minor changes will affect this. So let's just say, for example, Bank of America was to cut their dividend by, so and so cents. That'll eventually get updated in the spreadsheet there. So that's one cool feature I like about this, is they constantly update it, just for ultimate accuracy here. Now the dividend calculator. So I use this a lot. So whatever day of the month it is, it'll be highlighted in light or dark green. So for example, on the 28th of February, I'm going to get $155.84. It doesn't tell you what company it is, but that's where you scroll down. And here it's just got on a daily basis calendar on who's going to pay you what amount of money. So let's just say, for example, so on the 1st of February, okay, we've got AT&T, the cents per share that they're going to pay me, and then $77.73, which is what the payment I actually got. So that's you can go back to one of my previous videos being AT&T, and you can actually see that how accurate that actually was. Okay, so future value. This is a really cool feature. So here it's got the total portfolio value that I've started out with the dividends per year that I get currently, which is $11,989. The current dividend yield that I've got is 4.59%, and then it actually tells you how much money you're forecasted to get. So in 2023, the portfolio value would be $278,000 at the end of 2023. And then, so for example, if you fast forward all the way to 2032, the portfolio value will be just over $500,000. The current dividend yield will be 6.25%, and the annual income just by dividends will be $38,000. All right, so that's what, roughly 50 grand Australian, which is pretty cool. But over to the right here, that's only forecasting 10 years. You can click here and go to 25 years max. And as you can see there, that'll quickly tell you by the end of 2047, I'm going to have over $3 million, and then the annual income is going to be 330 grand. All right, that's pretty insane. That blows my mind. But yeah, so this is where you can sort of customize this future value. So if we scroll down to customize, let's just say the price appreciation. So the fluctuation, with the stock price, generally, like everybody goes by a general rule of, the market will increase by 7 to 9% per year. Okay, so let's put that in conservatively, being 7% per year in price appreciation. Now let's just say you and I want to place in a few grand per year. So for me, I'll probably put in like $1,000 a month of my own money. So let's just go $12,000 per year. All right, now let's go update the chart. And as you can see there, so after 25 years, that ending value before was 3 million. Now let's see it now. That's now sitting at $5.5 million with an average income of $261,000 just in dividends, which is bloody insane. But that's just a quick projected balance, future value. Dividend cuts doesn't get equated into this, so just be mindful of that. Over to the research bar. This is where I think this is where you have to pay for these extra things here. So stock analysis by professionals, a dividend screener just to say that this stock is on a rating of 9 to 10, fairly safe, and then so on. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and you click dividend calculator, this is where if you've just started investing and your initial principal was say like $1,000, let's put that in there, and your monthly contributions, let's just say you put in $100 per month, and let's just say you get a 4% dividend yield, an average share price growth, which is always between 9 and 7%, and go ahead and click your calculated returns, and this comes up, and in year one, your year's dividend will be $40, but by the end of 10 years, if you were to keep that consistent, deposits and reinvestment of the dividends, by end of the 10 years is $447. Okay. But, let's just say, for example, you're in a different sort of boat to whatever this is. Let's just say you have, a little bit less money. Let's just say your initial investment was $50, although your monthly contributions are slightly higher. Let's just say, every month $40 $400, that's $100 a week. But let's just say you only get like a 3% dividend yield overall on your money. Generally, if you if you choose, stocks like, SCHD, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and they actually grow their dividend over time by 2 to 3%, you can actually click 3% of dividend growth rate. We'll keep the annual share price at 7% per year, and the number of years, let's up that to 15 because we want to forecast 15 years ahead, right? And calculate your returns here. So, look, after initial investment of $50 and you contribute $400 per month, this is what you're going to be looking at. So the first year's dividends was $2, the next one's $150. Okay, let's go 8 years later, 1,185. So that's why I like this this dividend calculator, is because you can put in your own personal circumstances and see how much money you want to start out with. Let's just say, again, let's just put like $100,000. You started with $100,000, all right, and you're going to invest $500 per month. All right, let's start this. So your first year's dividend would be $3,000, and 10 years later, every year you'll be getting paid just under $7,000 a year in dividends. Now, if you were to add all these dividends up, one after the other, okay, by the end of 15 years, you'll have received $90,000 just in dividends, which is pretty damn incredible. So that's why I like the dividend tracker. I'll leave it there. It's trackyourdividends.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and click the dividend calculator, and give it a go. Put all your personal circumstances in there, and then that way we can be forecasting 10, 15, 20 years in advance, and then that way hopefully we can be preparing for retirement, retire early and go and enjoy life. That's what we want to do as dividend investors. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe, please give me a thumbs up, and yeah, I'll catch you next time.